Welcome back, Guardian. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse with this video, but I had a lot of comments on the Intellect video when I was recommending 3 versus going max or even above 3. So I wanted to show some in-game examples of this because when I did that test, I just showed solo gameplay and I had a ton of comments, people being like, well, if you're on a fire team, max Intellect really helps a lot. And I just wanted to show a brief situation of this and how it's really just not that correct, especially if you're into speed killing. I'm not saying that, you know, some people couldn't use Intellect, but I'm in the business of speed killing, not to be freaking wasting my build on Intellect when it doesn't help that much. So what we're going to do is put on max Intellect. I'm going to just put on these Doomfangs for the Intellect property, but I'm going to put it on Solar subclass just so it doesn't, like, you know, benefit the super at all, just to get my Intellect value up to 100. So I'm going to make it my best to stay with the fire team, but like I said, I'm pretty fast at speed killing. I don't really try to slow down for anybody. I kind of just rush ahead and get the job done, basically. I just don't like sitting around, but I did stay with the fire team as best as I could, and I'm doing the same kind of strategies on every bit of this test, just so you can kind of see how it all plays out and when I get my super. So pay attention to exactly when I get my super in the strike. You'll see it whenever the doors open and all those thrall pour out. I'm actually going to get my super on that first wave of thrall, and then it's a little bit different on the 3 intellect, but I'm going to fast forward this just to not make a 20-minute video trying to show you the charge times and stuff. But just pay attention to the super meter, and keep in mind that I actually did kill the major on this, which contributes to a lot of super energy, but when I did the 3, I didn't get a chance to kill it. The other team did, so I didn't get any super benefit off that. I've done these tests a million times, but I left it in on purpose, showing me killing this guy, just to show you that I'm even getting a boost in my super energy, plus having the max intellect, just to see what it is versus 3 when I don't kill that champion, and to see where the super lands on. So you can see my super is right there in that first wave. The second wave comes out. I normally don't pop my super right here. I usually just do the unstoppable, stagger and then fusion the dude to death or heavy ammo or whatever. But I'm just going to pop it just to get the meter starting to charge again to see where it comes back on the second time. So that just goes back to how things can play out as well. So each fight is always going to be different, but I always try to do the same strategies every time I do a Nightfall. I just have these set patterns that I always do over and over, and whenever I'm testing builds out and things like that, I make sure that I close all those gaps in every kind of strategy that I'm doing, so I can keep going as fast as possible to make my speed kill numbers go up even higher, basically. And that's the purpose of all the builds that I do. I try to build and not have to be stopped by recovery or recharge rates and stuff like that. And by building out for max intellect, you sacrifice mobility, recovery, your recharge rates, and other things. There's so much things you have to sacrifice because intellect mods cost 5 energy, so that's taking up a lot of space when it could be potentially put to other things like discipline or strength or something that benefits an exotic you're trying to build out for. And even though in some situations you might save a few seconds by having max intellect, in the overall big picture of it, it's a complete waste when you're building PvE. However, in PvP, I think it's probably a better thing to build for, just because you don't kill as often as you do in PvE. But if you're into speed killing and stuff, you'll see that I get my super right here, and it's going to be like that when I do the 3 as well. But I want to show you this. I've done this test so many times because I always do this to tailor all my builds. When I make a build video, I mean, no offense, I'm not making it for anybody but myself, and then I just share it, basically. So I want to make sure that all my builds are 100% top notch to keep me faster than anybody else that I'm on a team with, basically, because of just the competitive nature that I have in playing video games, basically. So here we are again with the 3 intellect, and you can see with this build, this is my Doomfang for the Banger 2.0 or whatever you want to call it. I actually haven't made a build video for this yet, but this is what it is as of right now. It's probably going to change when Dawn comes out, but I have room for so much stuff on this build, like reserves and scavengers and finders and all kinds of stuff, basically. So I'm going to do the same exact test again, and then I'm going to fast forward it just to show you where the super meter comes back again, and then where we're going to get it on the second wave as well. So keep in mind, every battle plays out differently. I'm trying to stay with the fire team as best I could, and I wasn't trying to be so much of a kill hog, but at the same time, if there's an ad in my face, I'm going to kill it every time. I'm not going to sit there and wait for the fire team to kill it. But if you're not into speed killing, you don't have that hustle in you to keep, crushing ads and stuff like that. I mean, that's really all that I teach on this channel, is how to build your Guardian out to optimize it for max kill numbers. And that is the purpose of the Ristophilis channel. But you'll notice that I got my super on the second wave instead of the first. So I was probably 1 or 2 seconds behind versus the max intellect. Instead of me getting my super on that first wave of thrall, I got it on the second wave. But like I said, I don't even pop my super right here to begin with. And even if I would have had my super there or then, it doesn't matter because I got it right when I needed it if I was going to use my super. Now let's go to the second wave of ads again, and then we'll see exactly where the super comes back. So I'm going to fast forward it. I'm staying with the fire team. Normally when I kill the final ad, I just take off. I don't care if people are keeping with me or not, because I'm just competitive like that. I like to speed kill, and that's what I used to do in Destiny 1 and then D2, but they don't keep track of it anymore. But my mindset is still in speed killing and trying to maximize my kill numbers, and that's all that I build for ever, basically. So take these ads out. We're going to head to the second door. We're going to go to that little small room before the major ads come out. And then this time, we're going to see the super is going to be a little bit delayed, but it's around the same time as max intellect. And by me wasting all of those properties, by putting all those intellect mods on and sacrificing all the mobility and recovery and things that my regular Doomfang build has, it's just not worth it. Instead of me getting my super right on that first rocket, it was a little bit delayed, but in the overall big picture, that little 2 or 3 seconds or whatever you want to call it, just doesn't make sense to build for it on a build to max it out. And if you're going above a 3, you're completely wasting it. However, on the build that I'm using right now, when I do masterwork all this armor, it's going to be at a 4, but it's not by choice at all. It's just how the stats rolled out, basically. I wasn't trying to build for intellect, but it just goes back. Focus on your mobility, your recovery, your discipline, your strength, all the things that can matter in combat to keep you alive and keep you wrecking, but don't waste it on a few seconds to get a super back unless you're in a situation where there's not a ton of ads to kill to contribute to your super energy. Then I would recommend it, basically. But in 99% of this game in PvE, you don't need intellect really at all, but 3 is a sweet spot. It puts you at 5 minutes charge time, which is what it was pre-Shadowkeep. And even though they did nerf the super a little bit, it's still around what it was pre-Shadowkeep, and you're going to get your super back in plenty of time. And I'm not going to tell you to build out for something that I know 100% isn't going to make you beast more, because it doesn't. It sacrifices a great build, and you're just going to be putting yourself at risk of death or lowering your kill count if you are into speed killing or being competitive with you or your friends or doing for top global ranks or whatever you're trying to do, basically. But that's just all I wanted to do. I didn't want to beat a dead horse in this video. I just wanted to show a quick tutorial about it and how it doesn't really benefit you that much. I will admit there are situations where I will get it back maybe up to 15 seconds faster, but in the overall grand scheme of things, your recharge rates, your mobility, and your recovery are 100% where it's always going to be. But hopefully you found some use of that. There are some players that might need it, but if you're trying to go beast mode, you never need it. But I will talk to you all in the next video, next time.
In space.